everyone, and welcome to another episode of From No Crypto to No Crypto. I'm your host, the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. Today, we're joined by Flavien with Blockchain Game Alliance. Now, this is one I've been looking forward to. Blockchain Game Alliance is definitely something I want everybody to learn about, hear about what they're doing in this space. But Flavien, first and foremost, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for the invite. Very excited about that. So thanks a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely tell you, I've been looking forward to this. I really like what you guys are doing. I think gaming is going to be a catalyst to overall adoption of this technology. It's going to expose it to a lot of people when it's done right. And I'm definitely interested to share with everybody what you're doing. But before we jump into that, can you tell everybody a little bit about your background, kind of what you did before this space and what got you into this space?
Sure. Yeah, thanks a lot for the invite. Obviously, as part of the BGA, the Blockchain Game Alliance, I will have the chance to explain you what we do, but it's wonderful to have your protocol as well, because I think we are sharing the same values in terms of how to make it easy for anyone to be involved in this new ecosystem and world, which is Web3. So it's wonderful to have a chance to talk about this. And myself, I joined the BGA, the Blockchain Game Alliance, as Director of Global Development. It was 2 years ago. Before that, I was in charge of digital marketing. I was still passionate about any way you could actually promote a brand using a lot of different digital platforms. Could be related to communication, but related to how to do business with new digital platform as well. So I'm passionate with that. And obviously, when I cross path with the Web3 world. At the beginning, I didn't get it. Actually, based on the NFT craziness and the first use case of why blockchain in gaming, as a player, I started to understand what it was and actually how it could change everything, not just for gaming, but for every kind of industry. So I really wanted to be involved in any way. I'm a gamer, so working in blockchain and gaming is actually a dream for me. And I had the chance to meet Sebastian. It's really I would say a Web3 story, because I had the chance to reach out to Sebastian Borget, the co-founder of the Sandbox and president of the Blockchain Game Alliance, and was looking for a Web3 job, if I may define this like that, and had the chance to tweet about Sebastian one time. He responded, and we had a chat, and he got me this job, and really fortunate to actually be involved in the BGA, because we're doing amazing things with amazing members with this specific mission to promote blockchain technology within gaming. So yeah, my journey now is really pretty much around learning from the members who are building innovative solutions. So I'm in the best position, I will say.
Gotcha. Awesome. I guess one thing everybody can learn from this, right? Never underestimate the power of a tweet, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, totally.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I tell you, your story, I think it resonates with me and maybe a lot of people listening, because I think when we first hear about this space, whether it's crypto, Web3, the whole mess, the whole thing tied together, it's something you have to wrap your head around, and many people don't get it at first. I always joke, just in Bitcoin in general, I think about everybody's got a story about when they first heard about Bitcoin versus when they first got involved or maybe bought some. And there's usually a gap there where it was skepticism, don't understand it, don't get it, till finally, for one reason or another, finally getting involved.
My first, I would say, path towards crypto, Web3, let's call it crypto, it was to start account-based accounts, and I didn't get it just for the sake of winning more money based on actually how much you could put, but I didn't get the technology behind. But actually, when I understood through gaming what it is, I understood crypto market. I understood what it means in terms of cryptocurrency and everything. So yeah, as you said, like, it's a learning curve, and you have to accept that it's a process.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on NFTs. I can tell you I've been a long time proponent of NFTs. I did my first podcast on NFTs in 2018. Oh, wow. And I went down the rabbit hole of how great they could be. I bought my first NFT in 2017. I used to collect sports cards as a kid, so I understood that. And I went down that rabbit hole of collectibles, gaming, and all the other use cases we're going to see with NFTs. And even today, when people think, oh, NFTs were just a fad, they're not going to last. It was they haven't really seen the true potential of what NFTs can be. Gaming is going to expose a lot of people to that. I think a lot of other collectibles, a lot of things that people normally have that are digital products being converted to NFTs can create some exclusivity. So we've got a long way to go there to show the world, but gaming is going to play a big part in that in terms of how big a potential this technology is.
Definitely. I think there are so much to say about NFTs, and not just around gaming, but I would say maybe the one thing around NFT across different industry will be community. And for me, it was from my understanding about what it is and how powerful is the technology, is how you actually, through collectibles, as you say, rarity, scarcity, and you understand how to belong to a specific community online, and how you stick with, why you stick with it, and not just related to the price you could get, in 2 or 3 months. So yeah, it's definitely a big path, and a lot of games from the beginning understood that going for NFTs help building a new community for the games they didn't release yet, and they're gonna. We are now in the time, I hope in 2024, I'm very, very convinced with the fact that in 2024, all these crypto enthusiasts who actually supported the game from the beginning with the purchase of NFTs will see how exciting it is to actually be a part of this ecosystem, this community from day one, and to play the game in 2024. I'm sure it's going to be the case for most of the games. So yeah, definitely excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I see so much potential there. I mean, besides being able to use those NFT assets potentially in a game, I mean, the way game developers can be, they can imagine taking an existing community that may have bought into a certain NFT and allow them, hey, this NFT may not even be related to the game, but when you connect your wallet to play in this game, if you hold that NFT, it actually equates to you owning this asset, this skin, this weapon, this whatever, right? So I can't wait to see all the different use cases that emerge from that, because they don't even have to be the native ones that launched the original NFT to say, okay, if you're in this community, so if you're in, say, the Azuki community and you connect to play our game, you could get these assets extra just for holding that NFT.
For me, the most exciting topic we're actually talking together with the BGA members through panels we organize is interoperability, like what it is exactly. And some of the people, they misunderstood that, and we understand that actually, this misunderstanding, because it's, yes, but how do you translate a character from game one to game two? It doesn't make any sense, because it's not the same design, and you have a whole different process of designing this character. Yes, right. Totally. But maybe you need to see beyond that. What if the utility of game one give you another utility to game two, based on your performance or based on your game identity of yourself as a gamer? So there are so much potential through an aspect of the blockchain technology, which is permissionless, like you could build blocks on top of another. So yeah, in terms of IPs, in terms of one big ecosystem with multiple platforms, I think it's super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So Flavien, let's jump into tell everybody, what is Blockchain Game Alliance and what do you all do there?
Sure. We created the Blockchain Game Alliance in 2018 by founders you actually know right now, but by the time they were not actually. You got not so much. Maybe for you, because actually you bought your first NFT in 2017.
I had some land from Sandbox,
yeah. So and but also you have, as founders, you have Gabby from YGG, you have Alexander from Axie Infinity as well. So and Nicolas Poire from Ubisoft as well. So they decided to create the Blockchain Game Alliance because at first there was a need to gather all professionals involved in blockchain gaming in order to network, in order to learn from each other, and to stick together. And obviously, based on the technology, that's a very new technology, and we are even now in the early stage of blockchain gaming.
Mm.
So yeah, there is a need to build this ecosystem, to learn from each other, to do connection between them, and it's still the number one priority for us today. Like with 500 companies, our main goal is to make sure that every one of our members can identify each other, like understood what they do, who they are, how they could collaborate with each other. So that's one thing about the community. And it's not a cheesy thing to say, like it's real. Like obviously when you build this community, they are willing to work with each other based on what we just say in terms of partnership collaboration. But that's very true, and that could be not understood by everyone, because the mobile game industry, as an example, totally different ecosystem. Like obviously you hide every secret you could have, and you don't share any insights based on the game you developed. And in blockchain gaming, it feels like everyone is willing to work together. So that's good. And the other part, as I said, is education. There is a need to educate not only our members, but also the gaming industry about why blockchain in gaming. You could see a lot of news publications in media saying that NFTs are scam, NFT are this, be careful, you shouldn't trust cryptocurrencies and anything, which could be true, definitely. So you need to be very well educated as well. But in other parts, that's a very powerful technology which will disrupt the business of gaming, but not only. And you have to understand what it is. So this is our role to actually, based on the expertise of yourself with FIO protocol, but also every other members, to educate the gaming industry about what they should know about the possibilities of blockchain technology. So we are the bridge. We act as a bridge between our members and the gaming industry. And when someone is interested in knowing more about a specific aspect of blockchain, we say, okay, we have the guys who could actually help you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's important. Community is important. Education is vital. That's why I started this podcast over 5 years ago, is because I realized this technology is hard for people to understand. And if they just get kind of like we say, what you're hearing in the news, NFTs are scams, beware of cryptocurrency. There are NFT scams. There are cryptocurrencies to be aware of, but this technology is going to be huge. And I think we're really starting to see the evolution of where blockchain gaming is going. And I like where it's going. You know, initially we saw play to earn, rise and fall. And I was telling people in the early days that really wasn't a sustainable model unless you create a circular economy for what they're earning. If everybody's just playing, earning, and then cashing out, then that's not a sustainable model,
At the end of the day, you have to understand the player mindset, like what reasons a player is playing a game. And first, it's not to win more. It's everything around entertainment, how to have fun, how to gather as a community of players. So the social aspect of it, the fun aspect of it. So from that, I think I wouldn't say play to earn is something we should forget, because it could work, especially for some of the different games. It could work, and we saw that, and we talk about that in the BGA. It should be the only way to explain blockchain gaming. Play to earn is not blockchain gaming, and that's actually the first misunderstanding we are tackling when we first face the gaming industry in terms of how they understand the technology. So it exists, and it will exist in different ways, but there are so much more things to talk about.
Right. And those early play to earn games, they weren't fun. People were just playing them because they were earning money. And you said it, the game developers need to focus on building a great game that people would play no matter what. And I think that's one aspect. Another thing, I don't know, you've probably seen this more than I have, but people saying, they're entering the blockchain gaming space, and they're doing all these elements that are on chain, whether it's token, whether it's play to earn, whatever. But it's not really solving a real problem. Whereas, if a game's going to be, say, hey, we're a blockchain game, we're a Web3 game, then it should lead with the reason of, okay, how does Web3 and blockchain, how does that either solve a problem, enhance the user experience, enhance the game? How can you solve a problem instead of just saying, oh, yeah, we put that game on chain just to say it's a blockchain game? It doesn't make sense. We got to lead with fun games and then find out how this technology can enhance.
And there are so many ways to make to make every players understand the power of blockchain technology in their own experience of playing a game. Like obviously one could be GTA 5. We're all talking about GTA 6. We'll have GTA 6 with crypto. I don't know. I'm not sure of it. But even GTA 5, like you experience GTA 5. What if you imagine as a user, you could actually be a creator as well? The world is huge, and you actually see every digital items that you could have. So you have ownership, that's another part, but you could actually be involved in the market in this huge ecosystem by just be creative and create something, because you want to create t-shirts and you want these t-shirts to be sold to other players in GTA Online as well. So in terms of building, being a part, being involved in the economy of your favorite games, it's so powerful. And that's one thing. Like for me, the best way, I don't know if it might be for Europeans, but in Europe, obviously, we're all playing FIFA, the football game, football, not soccer. And you have a card game released every year as well with FIFA, and you pay a lot of money if you want to be successful. If you want the Mbappe and the others, you pay to have those cards. But you know that next year you're not going to be able to use those cards. It's another season. So what if you could actually play those cards, because it's immutable, it's on the blockchain, and you have still some utility, maybe not the same utility as before, but another ways to use your cards and the expenses you did from last year within the game. So yeah, so many examples, but it takes time, and it's not done fully yet. So we are early.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've seen a bear market, especially over the last year and a half in the crypto industry, but that hasn't stopped people from continuing to build in the gaming space. What you guys have a front row seat? What have you seen, happen in the gaming space over the last, call it year and a half?
Yeah, that's not an easy time for sure, because unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for next year, it is pretty much related to the state of the crypto markets, cryptocurrencies market. So if it goes down, obviously the awareness of blockchain gaming goes down as well. So we will see for next year if it's actually better for us. I think so, not only from that, but from the fact that, as I said, a lot of these big games we heard about in blockchain, which are the Illuvium, the My Pet Polygon, and other games, they are releasing a game. They are playable. They are fun, as you said. And along the way, you introduce blockchain technology. Not saying it's blockchain, but actually the ownership, the principle of selling your different digital items within the game as well. This is introduced along the way, not from the start, but along the way as well. And that's something we're seeing. And in 2024, I think a lot of those games will be released. We are seeing a strategy from the big names where they want to focus on the distribution of the game. So having the game in platform like not Magic Eden, the other one, but I should remember. But the other platform, you could actually distribute the games, so make it available for everyone. Every launchers you could partner with as well, and that's, I think, one of the objectives of those games, just to let everyone, in terms of acquire more and more users, more and more players, and have in mindset how to translate the blockchain layer into their UX, and obviously because it's new, it takes a lot of time as well, and the technology is not also it's new. Like we see a lot of improvement, like account abstraction, but you will tell us more as well with everything you're doing with your protocol as well. But in terms of player identity and everything, it's coming, like the technology is coming as well. And in terms of onboarding, it's easier and easier for game developers to do it as well.
Yeah, and that's why we focused on what we did. Onboarding has been a friction point for this game. Imagine a new user coming in from the Web 2 space. They want to play this game that's Web 3, and the first thing they have to do is set up a MetaMask wallet.
No way.
That's a friction point. We're going to lose most people, right? So that's why, and it's not that, FIO protocol, we wanted to just be focus on user adoption in terms of using our handles, making sending and receiving assets easier. But we had a lot of games that wanted to use our protocol, and their biggest problem was trying to find a frictionless wallet. And so that's when we partner with MetaKeep to do that. And I've always said since the early days that besides education, the other thing that's going to drive this space forward with adoption is easier user interfaces.
Totally.
Blockchain tech is too complicated. The developers and the engineers are not UI guys. We need more people to look at the user experience and say, how can we make this easier? Just like we look at the iPhone today, I always use that as an example. I'm not an iPhone fan, but the iPhone is a very popular phone because they made it so simple and easy to use. Not because it has the greatest tech. And it's the same thing with here. If someone gets in and their first experience is they lose a seed phrase and they accidentally, they can't restore their wallet when they change computers, then that's a friction point. We're going to lose somebody. Mm-hmm. If they immediately try to send, whether it's crypto or a digital asset from a game as an NFT, if they try to send that to someone and they send it to the wrong address and it's gone forever, that's a friction point. Totally. So
yeah,
we got to solve
especially in
those.
gaming when the attention from a player entering for the first time the game, I don't remember how much seconds you need before a player drop off, but it's in seconds. Like it might be
That's
7
quick,
seconds.
Right?
So if you're asking someone to set up a wallet to remember the seed phrase, like
you
cannot see
Absolutely.
that as successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And from your question, I would say the other thing will be, I think it's going to be, first we're going to release a report. Usually what we do is we release a report at the end of each year because we ask questions to our members, but also all blockchain gaming professionals to picture the state of the blockchain gaming ecosystem. And we're going to release that very soon. But I will say, I'm pretty sure I didn't get I didn't check anything on my side for the results, but from last year, and I think it's going for this year, and I think it's going to be the same for next year. I think one of the big challenges for every blockchain game companies will be compliance and legal, how countries, regions of the world understand blockchain gaming, a game with blockchain technology, with cryptocurrency as well. Should it be defined as gambling? Should it be not? I hope not. It shouldn't be, obviously.
Right.
But securities and everything. So in Europe, it's better and better. I think there is good things to explain and to maybe make it easier for every company will be in Europe to actually understand how the law understand blockchain in-game assets, but that could change so quickly, to be honest. So that's our role to be updated to all of these activities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've heard in the past, even before looking at blockchain-based gaming, but gaming compared to gambling, a lot of the distinction is in gambling, it's mostly by chance, whereas in gaming, skill is required to be able to advance. So that hopefully that sticks as we see more and more blockchain game developments happen, and I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, and also that's exactly this. And the other part is you put some money up front and you expect a gain, or you accept the fact that you could lose everything, and that's gambling. That shouldn't be. I would say gaming, because obviously you don't pay to lose money. You pay to play a game. You pay to play a game. So definitely about chance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just hope that we see, and I think we're starting to see more and more game developers just focus on gameplay. And because there's enough projects like ours and others that are solving that usability problem. Like imagine a game developer, they just want to build a great game for people to play. And maybe, they have this interest to say, okay, this needs to be a Web3 game because, there's a lot of things we can do with that, and not have to worry about spending months and months on R&D to figure out what wallet am I going to use? What chain am I going to use? Let's get all of that, solved. And it looks like us and other ecosystem partners within Blockchain Game Alliance can solve that to where the game developer just, hey, you focus on making a fun game. And, we're as a community, we've got the elements to integrate your Web3 elements into that game.
You're totally right. And actually it was it was exactly the case 1 year, 2 years ago. Even now, it's the case. Like the first question for every game developers who want to be in Web3, what kind of protocols I could use? It should be it should be easier than that. Obviously,
Right.
should I go to Polygon and everything? Like, it should be easier for them not to ask themselves that question, to be honest. So totally, fully agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What are you seeing in terms of, so Web2 games, obviously it's a big space. Web2 gaming, traditional gaming is huge. What are you all seeing any interest? I know that some studios and others have come out, maybe with an interest for Web3, others against it still. What are you seeing? Are you seeing any of that sentiment and seeing it shift at all?
I think when I have that question for people wanting to be in the BGA, what I say is, for me, it's the best KPI. When we attend a lot of gaming convention, like not blockchain related gaming convention, but we
Right.
kind of raise the flag of the blockchain gaming space because we have a booth and we invite our members to showcase their games at our booth, because for us it's the perfect way to educate the industry about what's being done. We attended this year Tokyo Game Show. So in terms of gaming convention, Tokyo Game Show, Gamescom, one of the biggest gaming convention, B2C, B2B in Germany, but in Europe, and GDC San Francisco, among others. But these are the three main ones, I would say, in the industry. And we attended this year, but also last year. And we see the evolution in terms of interests and kind of conversation we have with them. Like, it's crazy. Obviously, in 2022, at the booth, we were definitely able to see that just the guy interested in blockchain were coming to us. And when we try to engage with anyone at the convention, it was, I don't want to talk about anything related to NFT. That's not interesting. I don't trust this space. So it was a little bit of backlash for sure. And this year, both events we attend for the second time on our side, and we saw the level of curiosity from game companies building Web2 games leveling up, and just for interest, like, okay, can you explain what it is? I'm interested in the game. Could you explain how you integrate blockchain? Yes, but in terms of onboarding. So they ask questions. So I think it's very
Awesome.
positive for next year.
Yeah, that's great. That's what more people need to do. I mean, that is really where it's at. And I tell people all the time, if you're talking to someone, not just gaming, but someone in that traditional Web2 space, and to come into Web3, you can't just lead with the tech. Oh, NFTs, blockchain. No. Show them what problems you can solve for them. Exactly. What can you solve? What can you help? What can you enhance? And that's it. I mean, some of these games, right? They may traditional games may have to go through all these different payment gateways around the world and pay banks and credit card processing fees everywhere, when a simple global token could easily make that to where there's one onboarding point and they go from there. So that's definitely what we need to do. And I love that strategy, because I've done that recently. I was asked to speak at a music conference here in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
And about Web3. And because obviously I'm not a musician, I'm not in the music industry, but I told them, basically how Web3 could enhance their products, what problems it could solve. Musician royalties is a big problem. And from that, there's a lot of I've got more leads from that event than I did at some of the other crypto events I've attended in the US. So because they want to learn how they can incorporate that. And I think with games, it's the same way. We show them, like, what are the benefits to doing this? Like, what can this do to enhance your profit, your profile, your game, your user experience? And then from there, I think it'll drop the barrier. So then they start asking the questions like you're saying, like, how can I do this? How can I integrate that? And that's good to see, because I think it's still all part of that education, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, whatever you do in gaming, in many industries, even if you are in infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure, still you should be a part of the education process. You have to. Like, you cannot rely on any other company to just explain what it is. You have to do it yourself based on the new technology, which is blockchain. So that could be seen as fun. Like, as you said, like, it's so fun to speak to people, to convince people about what you could actually do with the technology. So definitely. And for us, we go to blockchain events as well, but at the end of the day, we don't want to talk to ourselves as well. Like
Right.
we are convinced by the technology. So
great point. I would challenge anybody listening to this, if you're in the space, don't just go to crypto events. Crypto events are great to go to because, you know, we get to see each other, but at the same time, yeah, those non-crypto events, that different industry events, to where you can have a presence and maybe explain to people why it's important. That's why I walk around. I wear Bitcoin gear because typically people will stop and ask me, and that's my intro to explain to them crypto, Web3, and this whole model. So you know,
I did the same and love it. I did the same last week at Web Summit Lisbon, which is one of the biggest European convention around technology. So it could be anything related to that. So not only Web3. Web3 was big last year, but this year not too much based on not so craziness of the industry. And I have my Blockchain Game Alliance just big in my back, and that's so easy to have people saying, I'm very interested. Could you tell me more about it? That's nice. The perfect strategy for sure.
Yeah, good point. All right, awesome, Flavien. So as we wrap up, man, it's been great. I definitely want people to learn more about Blockchain Game Alliance. Can you tell everybody where they can follow your team and find out more about what Blockchain Game Alliance is doing?
Everywhere. Like we are doing a lot of things for our members. So in terms of activities, it's mainly internally, obviously, because we take care of our members. But I would say in terms of education, it's for everyone. So watch out our videos on YouTube, on Blockchain Game Alliance channel, but also Twitch and X or Twitter, and you will find panels. You will find demo day, very exciting things, because you can actually see the people. So you can see it's not a scam. There are real people behind the wheel, and you can actually see that they are developing something tangible for the industry. So that's perfect if you want to learn more. And follow us, and it would be lovely to have you if you decide to come to the BGA.
Awesome, cool. Thanks a lot. Definitely follow them, find out what they're going. This is not just if you're building in the gaming space or the blockchain space. If you want to learn more, follow what they're doing, because there's a lot of great stuff there as well. So Flavien, as we wrap up, any final words for everybody?
No, excited by the ecosystem. I think I'm as a player. I think 2024 will be very excited. So we will see what happens. But a lot of news right now. We didn't talk about this, but I think also the other positive aspect of what's happening is big game publishers like Ubisoft and Square Enix, they are announcing so much crazy things and relationship and collaboration with infrastructure in gaming, and it's going to be better and better, I think. So we need them to actually speak about blockchain to their own players and democratize the technology to players. So yeah, excited for the future for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks everybody again for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Bye.